Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gordon Meg, and I'm the Sales and Technical Support Manager from PCTEL. So today our topic will be on the wireless test and measurement method by using the scanner and the drone. So let me start it with why we do need a scanning receiver for the data collection first. So first of all, scanning receiver is an engineering grade device that can provide you a whole picture of the RF environment compared to what you can get from an UE, because a scanning receiver, first of all, is independent to the network. So it doesn't really matter what the base station tells you to log on or to use, which base stations. It can capture all the signals from all the base stations around the area. As long as there's a signal there, the scanner will be able to detect it. Also, it's more faster, more accurate, and it has a higher dynamic range, meaning that it can detect the signal even with the presence of high power of interference. And besides that, it can also provide you with a trustworthy baseline of the network. Why we say that? Because if you're comparing to a consumer-grade UE, the performance of the UE is depending on the brand of the UE or your mobile phone, or the model of your mobile phone, and also the chipset that's being used by your mobile phone. Okay, and besides that, the mobile phone is also using a directional antenna. So if you're going to collect the data by holding your handset like this or laying flat, you might have a different performance. So in that case, it's really hard to get a reference point for your data collected. While using a scanning receiver, we are using the omnidirectional antenna, which basically can build up a good reference to compare with a UE, a reading, as well as to understand what is the baseline of the RF environment around the area that you're collecting the data. And besides, you can also use the scanning receiver to benchmark the networks. All right, so no matter you're using SoftBank, Docomo, or KDDI, it can be all collected by the same scanner. Right? It doesn't really matter you're using WCDMA, LTE, either FDD base or TDD base. One single receiver will be able to capture all this either by doing one drive test or one walk test. While if you're thinking using a handset only, and you have to do one voice and one data section for each operator, you may have to use up to 6 devices to collect all the data at the same time. Now, besides using scanning receivers, why do we need the drone? Okay. So the drone will be able to cover much more area in a shorter time. Now, imagine that I only give you 50 minutes, and you have to collect as much data as possible in Ueno Park. Now, you know that Ueno Park is pretty big, right? They have a museum over there, they have a zoo over there. So 50 minutes by walking, probably you won't cover that much. But if you're flying drone, then you can cover a much bigger area within that 50 minutes. And also for the drone, is allows you to assess how to reach areas, such as like country parks or forests that cannot be easily accessed by just walking or by driving in there. Okay, and then you can also use this kind of combination to identify the interference source that might cause interruption to some communication system in an emergency site, especially after disaster or catastrophe. Imagine that you have an earthquake here sometime, then all the infrastructure is down, you have low network and all, so you try to set up an emergency site to maintain the communications. But it has to be interference free. So in that case, you can fly a drone over there and try to find out and make sure that the frequency that you're going to use for your communication is free of interference. Also, you can quickly test and verify the hard to reach and limited access areas such as park and recreation area. And also here are some of the examples, like if sometimes you're riding on a cruise ship and it's moving towards the Yokohama pier over there next to the red brick warehouse, and you probably will concern about the quality and the power you're getting, right? But how are you going to make sure that the quality and the power is acceptable in the harbor area? Either you have to do the data collection by doing a boat trip, or you can fly a drone over there around the harbor and try to find out what is the performance is like. So that's the other application you can make use of it. And then you can also use it to try to map some venue like stadium or event venues. then it will allow you to collect the data, process, and even generate the report within a day. Now try to think about a stadium like this with this scale, and you need to do a mapping of all the sections, all the rows in that level of details in the stadium. How long is it going to take you? By walking and compared to by flying. So the drone in that case will shorten the time for the data collection part, so you can have the data more quickly to generate the report and understand what's going on over there. Is there anything you have to optimize or to troubleshoot in order to make the quality to be better in that area? Also, you can use the drone and scanner to do the small cell deployment, which you can collect the data in a more shorter period of time compared to walk testing around the area.